request Honorable Mr. Justice B.R. Gavai, Judge Supreme Court of India, to kindly share his thoughts with us.
Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Mr. Justice Sanjeev Khanna, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court of India, former Chief Justice of India and the Judges of the Supreme Court, Honorable Minister of State for Law and Justice, Shri Arjun Ram Meghwal, Learned Attorney General for India, Shri R. Venkatramani, the Chief Justices and the judges from various high courts of the country, the Learned Solicitor General of India, Shri Tushar Mehta, the Advocate Generals of various states, Shri Manan Kumar Mishra, the Chairman of the Bar Council of India, Dr. Anju Rati Rana, Secretary Department of Legal Affairs, the law officers, the Secretary Justice, the Registrar General of the Supreme Court, and the members of the legal fraternity. It is a matter of great privilege to be present today at the launch of Mediation Association of India and the first National Mediation Conference. Today's event marks a significant step forward in our collective effort to promote a culture of dialogue and resolution in the Indian legal system. As the renowned novelist Ruskin Bond once wrote, and I quote, "If a cat and a dog are properly introduced to each other, they make the best of the friends," unquote. Similarly, when individuals or entities in conflict are given a safe, structured space to communicate, hostility can give way to a dialogue and confrontation can transform into cooperation. This is precisely what mediation seeks to achieve. India has made a significant strides in integrating mediation into its legal systems as a means to promote alternative dispute resolution and reduce the burden on courts. However, the true benefits of progressive legislation, such as Mediation Act 2023, can only be realized if we go beyond the law and work towards building a mediation mindset in the country. There is no doubt that a culture of mediation is gradually evolving in India. Institutions such as National Legal Services Authority, NALSA, have already taken a commendable steps in this direction by conducting training programs in mediation and advanced commercial mediation for lawyers and other stakeholders. However, to truly manifest mediation, we need to scale up and diversify these efforts. It is at this juncture that the establishment of the Mediation Association of India assumes critical significance. The Mediation Association of India, envisioned and conceived under the inspiring leadership of the Learned Attorney General for India, represents a bold and forward-looking vision, one that seeks to fundamentally reimagine how we as a society engage with conflict. The Mediation Association of India envisions itself as a unifying and inclusive platform, bringing together mediators, legal professionals, policymakers, and citizens. In pursuit of this vision, the association will identify, promote, and institutionalize best practices in mediation, ensuring that quality, integrity, and consistency are hallmarks of mediation processes across the country. Furthermore, the Mediation Association of India should aspire to serve as a bridge between India's legal fraternity and the global mediation community. By facilitating exchange of knowledge, comparative insights, and cross-border collaborations, the association can ensure that Indian mediation centers remain aligned with international benchmarks while also reflecting the local realities. The first National Mediation Conference being held today presents a timely opportunity to bring focus to the emerging and pressing issues in the field of mediation in India. One such critical area is the growing relevance of online mediation, which has now been formally recognized and legitimized under the Mediation Act 2023. Renowned scholar on technology and legal systems, Richard Susskind, noted that our discussions on technology-based initiatives should be taken with open-minded and informed debate. He further noted, a major outstanding task here is to develop guidelines on what types of technology-based relative techniques are best suited to what type of a dispute. To quote him further, new court systems should be developed and delivered in an incremental rollout in manageable Lego-like modules, rather than through sudden and sweeping changes. This approach promotes continuity and stability, allowing institutions and users alike to adapt and respond effectively to new systems. In my view, our law school curriculum must also go beyond teaching just the theory and the legal provisions of the Mediation Act. It is important to equip students with the soft skill essential for effective mediation. Mediation is a human process that requires empathy, active listening, emotional intelligence, and the ability to facilitate dialogue. These are skills that cannot be acquired solely through textbooks. They must be cultivated through experimental learning, role plays, and hands-on training. As Mata Nrsimbam, professor of law and philosophy at the University of Chicago, insightfully observed, human life is a chancy business, and we all feel anxieties that lead us to want more control, including control over other people. This observation is particularly relevant to the world of disputes, where emotions often drive actions more than reasons. Legal education must therefore prepare students not just to argue cases, but to understand how to manage conflicts without trying to dominate or control, to help resolve disputes in a manner that preserves relationships and dignity. I would like to underscore the importance of collaborations between corporate entities and institutions such as NALSA and the Mediation Association of India to refine and strengthen best practices in mediation. The private sector, with its evolving internal mechanisms, can offer valuable insights and innovations. At the same time, institutional bodies bring legal expertise, regulatory perspective, and public interest orientation. Martha Mino, a professor at Harvard Law School, wisely observed that the public and private sectors are not rivals, but potential partners in learning from each other. In conclusion, I would highlight that a comprehensive approach is the need of the hour. Only when mediation becomes an instinctive part of our dispute resolution culture, rather than an afterthought, can we truly unlock the potentials of Mediation Act 2023. I'm thankful to the Learned Attorney General and all the organizers for giving me an opportunity to be with you this afternoon. Thank you very much.